Hello everyone, now you will hear a short retelling of the movie Disassembly in the Bronx. Enjoy watching. China Yong flew to his Uncle Bill's wedding in New York. Yong admires Manhattan, but his uncle's store is located in the Bronx, a dangerous gangster district. Yong's father was a famous kung fu master. The man followed in his footsteps and became the Hong Kong champion in this martial art. Yong saw the simulator and couldn't resist from the bottom of his heart, piled on a wooden mannequin. He was applauded by an enthusiastic Donnie, a neighbor kid in a wheelchair. Kyung gave him his console, which made the kid very happy. He has no parents, only an older sister. Bill shows his nephew his grocery store. Today he will sell it. Young went inside to meet his uncle's future wife. But he was wrong. Bill fell in love not with a Chinese woman, but with a dark-skinned resident of the Bronx. What can I say? Welcome to America. Alina, the future owner of the business, entered the store. Bill is advertising the store. This is the only supermarket for 8 blocks. The future aunt praised Kang's muscles, and he wanted to show off at the mirror. That's just it's transparent, and Alina also checked it out. Yong came into the office and realized that the girl had seen his antics. The contract was signed. Bill invited Lena to the wedding, which will take place tomorrow. The groom rented an expensive antique Buick limousine of the 38th year from a friend. On it, Odd is going to pick up the bride. At night, Kanga was awakened by the roar of motorcycle engines. Punks are raging right under the windows. 2 gangs staged a competition. The girls have to ride motorcycles on parked cars, smashing them along the way. And in a row with other cars, there was an expensive limousine. Yong panicked and realized that he would have to intervene. He went down the stairs and covered the limo with his body. Because of this, the girl in red lost. Just at that moment, the police arrived and dispersed the punks. Kang met Alina again at his uncle's wedding and offered the girl to help her with the store this week. So Bill will have a quiet honeymoon. During a light charge, Yong heard a report about the robbery. $7 million worth of jewelry was stolen. The newlyweds went on a trip, and the apartment remained at the disposal of Kang. When he was passing the lines of paper, the shop was flooded with gopnik. One of them drank juice from cans and stole some chocolates. Alina is not going to turn a blind eye to this, but in response to the demands to pay, the gopnik broke the jar on the floor. Alina asked for protection from the Chinese buyer, but the villains were from the same gang. Then, Yong took up the case. He was immediately surrounded from all sides. Angela took out a hefty knife. Alina was scared and began to apologize, but the fight could not be avoided. As a result, all the criminals were beaten, but with Angelo broken, and the Chinese received an additional spanking. Alina was speechless from what she saw. For the locals, Kang instantly became a hero. He worked until the store closed. A spark passed between him and Alina. King helped the girl to close the blinds and went home with shopping in the Zlakny district. Then he saw how some scoundrels dragged the girl into the alley. Yong rushed after them and pretended that he was from the police. The victim of the attack was saved, but she immediately kicked her savior in the balls. It was a trap, and the hero was hunted down. After beating several attackers, Kay climbed over the net and ran down a narrow street, but soon ran into a dead end. There's nowhere else to run. Dozens of punks blocked his way. Angela was going to just shoot him, but he didn't offer to have fun first. From trash cans, Gopniki poured out glass bottles, upholstered, wrapped with rags. In this version of baseball, the broken walls of the bottle shower Yong with shards and injure him. Some bottles fly directly into it, and there is no way to close them. The wounded Chinese man fell to the asphalt. Angela wanted to kill him, but the ladies were against it. The altercation between them led to the fact that the Gopota scored on Kanga, and he was left lying bloody among the fragments. The gangster Nancy turned out to be Danny's sister, and not the best, and she may not appear at home for days. The kid told her about Kanga, a great guy, who gave him a console. The boy complains that his wheelchair pillow is completely worn out, he needs a new one, and Nancy promised to buy it. Covered in blood, King was able to get to his entrance. Danny said that this was their neighbor, and Nancy decided to help him. The man woke up completely naked. Nancy undressed him and treated his wounds. How old is she?
21. She's a beauty.
The girl herself allegedly left for work. King went to the store on the helpline. However, punks started hunting him again. Young took to his heels. The bandits are chasing him, smashing everything in his path. The poor guy disappeared into the parking lot, but the scumbags with bats are not far behind him. If possible, Young cuts down one at a time. When he was pressed to the edge, the brave man climbed onto the roof of the parking lot, just climbing from floor to floor. Upstairs, he hid in a car with balls. The owner of the car and the balls did not like it, and he gave out the Chinese. Gopniki decided that it would be a lot of fun to push the car off the roof. Young managed to escape at the last moment. The pursuit of him continued. The exhausted tourist was cornered again. Angela offered to let him go if Young kissed his ass, but he whipped the bandit with a torn antenna and decided to take another desperate step, jumping from one building to another. No one dared to repeat this trick. The robbers found buyers for the stolen diamonds, but something went wrong. The dark-skinned bandits were shot. Their car was involved in an accident near Young's house. Punks were just hanging out there. They took the gold from the wounded, and Angela stole the case. Criminals in suits drove up here and shot the cars. Angela found a bag of diamonds in his briefcase. He is being chased. Gopnik stumbled to Dennis and stuffed the jewels into his pillow. The big guy took Angel at gunpoint and quietly dragged the chair into the apartment. But the punk was lucky. The police surrounded the house and arrested them all. Young brought Danny home. The boy was very happy. His sister bought him a new pillow. The bandit hides so as not to catch the eye of a neighbor, but Danny's fame about how much he loves her touched Nancy. She came out and apologized to King. The kid was surprised that these two already knew each other. An old pillow with diamonds was under the sofa. The thugs in suits belonging to the White Tiger group had to be released. There was nothing on them. The cops also released Angel to set up surveillance on him. At night, the White Tigers returned to the house and searched the entrance. They introduced themselves to Young as FBI agents and gave him their business card. A Chinese man came to the club where Nancy works as a dancer. Tony and his men also came here. Nancy is his girlfriend, and right now she's sitting down to talk to Young. Soon they were spotted by one of the Gopnik and told the main one about it. The couple had to flee the club. They fled on Nancy's motorcycle. The girl decided that she liked Young more and kissed him, and Alina had to pay for it, whose store was smashed to pieces by punks. Then he doesn't ask her where to find Yoo. While the gangsters were having fun in the store, the White Tigers threw two into the trunk and kidnapped them. But only Angela knows where the pebbles are, and he's on Danny's tail. When the adults left, he threw the kid out of the gurney and took away the pillow, but found nothing inside. During the interrogation of the punks, one of them was thrown into a crusher, and what came out from the back was in a black bag. King came to the trashed store. He found out that they were looking for him, because he hooked up with the girlfriend of the leader of a local gang. Alina is disappointed in her friend, and King himself decided to take revenge on the punks, and asked Nancy to transfer him to their lair. The enraged Kung Fuist was going to pile on the criminals, but he didn't just point a gun at him. However, when Nancy approached, I decided to deal with the enemy with my fists. The punk could not oppose anything to the Kung Fu champion, and was soon beaten. The enraged Chinese began to process the rest of the Gopnik. Young was on the verge of getting injured many times, but agility and speed helped him avoid danger. Well, when the ski track got into his hands, the punks began to fly off one by one. The fight was stopped by Tony's shot in the air. He admitted that King had won. The Chinese hopes that at the next meeting, they will not fight, but will sit down and drink tea. Then, one of the abducted with a package of minced meat fell into the lair, and if they don't return what Angelo stole, so will everyone. Young suggested seeking the help of the FBI. That's how he accidentally handed Angelo over to a scumbag from the White Tiger gang. The blonde was shot in the leg, and confessed that he hid the diamonds in Danny's gurney. Bandits broke into the apartment and gutted a new pillow. There was no diamond inside. Young got punched in the stomach for it, and Danny said he knew where the jewelry was. However, he pointed to his sister's jewelry, and immediately got slapped in the face. At the same time, the Siang realized where the diamonds were, but did not give them away, but beat the bandit with a crutch. K-Yong wanted to punish the muzzler for beating a child, but he didn't care about the blows of the Chinese. And then Danny threw him a monkey wrench. K-Yong poured out the diamonds.
What's the difference between these diamonds, my sister's diamonds?
I think $7 million. The main one called the bandits, but K-Yong took the phone. He offers to exchange the jewels for his friends. K-Yong sent the kid to school, and he popped into Lina's store. Repairs are in full swing there, the room looks like new. K-Yong asked the girl to hide the stolen diamonds somewhere. She would like to take a couple of pebbles as compensation. The main one drove up to the store and asked K-Yong to go down to the trading floor. Nancy went to the bathroom, almost stealing a handful of diamonds. When K-Yong came down, he saw a bunch of chains that were strung all over the supermarket. He tried to warn Lina about the danger, but she refused to come out. The truck pulled all the chains at once, and the building was formed in seconds, whether it was a house of cards. The ruined girl was left standing with her pants down in the middle of the street. The boss called again. He set a meeting place. He should have the diamonds in an hour. This time, K-Yong called the real police. The cops put a wire on Kong and gave him one stone to show to the bandits. The task is to get them to talk so that they tell about the murders and the robbery. The meeting was scheduled at a restaurant on the pier. Mustache checked the pebble. King promises to bring the rest after his friends are released. He made a mistake and mentioned the nickname of their boss. They guessed that there might be a wiretap on the Chinese and brought him to the boat garage. And so it is, there was a microphone hidden in his hair. The boss gave the order to kill Kong and the hostages and spit on the diamonds. But K-Yong is in no hurry to die. He fought off the bandits and disappeared among the garages, though he got stuck between the walls. The bandits were distracted by a cop, but it was more important for him to put a cigar in his mouth, and he was shot. King is worried about his friends and decided to act on his own. At the same time, the bandits took hostages and hijacked a hovercraft. Keon also managed to jump on it at the last moment, but immediately fell out, caught by a rope. The boat is being chased by the police. The bandits shot the helicopter and almost crushed the fishermen. At the beach, they also did not slow down and drove onto land, almost crushing dozens of people. King saved the little girl at the last moment. He himself was still crushed by the boat, but it was lucky for Yong that there was sand under it. He jumped on the boat, which had already left the road, and rammed the bus. The ship demolishes one car after another. K-Yong flew off it and almost got hit by a truck. Even the Lamborghini didn't spare the killer boat. He also stopped by the Rockers concert. The cops don't know how to stop this hovercraft monster. Then, K-Yong stole a huge jagged sword from the museum and got into a Lamborghini. After demolishing the doors, he placed the blade outside and ripped open the boat's cushion on the move. The machine destroyed several more shops and finally stopped. K-Yong climbed inside, and earlier one of the bandits found out where he was holding the hostages. Soon, Tony and Nancy were released, and K-Yong got the opportunity to take revenge on the boss of the White Tigers, and rode over him and his guard on a patched boat.